biggest mistake you can make in your 20s is not crashing out, not taking risk, not getting out of your comfort zone, and just living in comfort, living within the guidelines that life has taught you. And I'm like, my past year, if it's taught me anything, is that is completely and utterly true. Is that you need to be a crash out, you need to make mistakes fast, because I'll tell you this, time is the most valuable asset that you and I share that is constantly depreciating. We only have a certain amount of time on this planet, and we don't know exactly how much time that is. In your 20s, it's the best possible time to actually take risk, to hop on opportunities that you don't know if it's going to work out or not. You don't know, like, you don't got to think about it too much. You just hop on it because you don't have any responsibilities. You don't have anything you really have to worry about. And if anything, you learn from it. You learn from your mistakes. And I was always the type to, really be spontaneous with how I move. Very quick acting and not really too much thought behind what I did. Like, if you want to say, like, I was somewhat of a retard, right? And I'll phrase it like this: your brain has its own self-defense system where, based on your previous experience and the outcome of that experience, it kind of predicts the future of what could happen in a certain situation, right? So, for example, if you got in an accident, right, your first time driving, you get in, you merge on the highway, and immediately when you merge, you get hit by another driver, right? All of a sudden, because of that experience, because it was so traumatic, because your brain, it never had an experience like that, you've never driven before, and the first time you merged on the highway, you got in an accident, the next time you merge on that highway, you're going to be much more afraid. You're going to be subconsciously trying to, like, prepare yourself to get in a crash because that is what you've predicted based on what you've experienced. It's to form your pyramid of beliefs, right? Your pyramid of beliefs is all of your experiences, right? Your experiences you've had all the way up to this point in your life right now, the observations you've made off those experiences, the assumptions you made off those observations, and based off those observations, your beliefs you have now. There is no concrete reality. It's very, very subjective based on the different person. Everyone has their own biases. So it's very hard to say, like, okay, is this the right move? Is this not? So when you do have anxiety, when you do have doubt, when you do have fear of taking this certain opportunity, making this certain risk, it's based off previous experiences. If you've always been the type to overthink every single decision that you've made, of course you're going to feel like you're stuck. Of course you're going to feel like you're complacent. Of course you're going to feel like nothing is progressing because you're not actually moving, because there's no action happening in your life right now. And I'm telling you, this video can only serve as a form of awareness, a message of awareness, rather than giving you an actual thing to focus on. Because when the opportunity presents itself, when the risk presents itself, you are able to take that risk because you have time. Time is your biggest leverage. And that's all you can do is develop your player. Like, this is how I think about it, right? You are just living in a video game. This is literally just a video game. That's how I think about my life. I live in basically GTA 6. I live in Miami, right? And I'll show you my little hold on. I'll show you my little view I got right here. I don't know if you can tell by the construction and shit, but even when I'm driving on the highway, and I like one of my most favorite games of all time was GTA 6, and not GTA 6, GTA 5, and like I just recall doing all these side quests with my boys, doing like GTA roleplay, like going on like certain drives with my boys, right? It's the same exact shit in real life, and in the game you want to max out your player stats. Right, max out the money, max out the strength, max out the stamina, right? Max out the speed of the character. It makes it a lot easier to navigate through the game. And you should be thinking the same exact thing when it comes to real life, because real life is literally just a video game. Like the greatest lesson you can take from this video is that you must detach from the outcome that you truly desire. Right? It's counterintuitive and it's hard to really digest and put into application. But deep down in your subconscious mind, you have to tell yourself that I don't care what outcome I get. I'm not thinking about it at all. I just focus on the daily inputs I can do every single day to become a better man. And it's inevitable. You will get the outcome that you want if you just completely detach from what you're doing. Not what you're doing, but what you could be getting. Instead, just focus on what you could be doing right now to burn that anxiety. Because anxiety is literally just your mind, you're physically sitting in a complacent spot where you're standing, contemplating a certain decision, yet you're not taking action, right? What I always tell myself in my head whenever I feel anxious, action burns anxiety. And I will tell you, anxiety is a bitch. Anxiety, surface level of a word, like it is so surface level, I've explained it just like that, but anxiety is crazy. I'm telling you, like I've dealt with it where like I wake up at 2, 3 in the morning just randomly, and my mind is just racing, overthinking every future event, overthinking every past event, replaying could I have done things better, and I'm just replaying all these events in my head, and I'm just like fucking, like my body is moving, like I just physically cannot put myself to rest even when I wake up in the middle of the night. And even days like that, like I just say, fuck, I'm gonna start my day off right now. Like I'm just gonna start it off right now because I physically cannot put myself to rest. I cannot put my mind to rest. And like at the peak of my anxiety, like that was the worst. But really being able to control and ask myself at the end of the day, okay, the anxiety that I feel right now, is it because I didn't take any action today to become a better man within my personal goals, within my business goals, my career goals, my finance goals, like every single aspect that I care in my life, every single pillar, every single domain in my life? Did I take action on the things that I'm actively focusing on in this season of life, or did I just fall another day complacent? And on a long enough time frame, once you have days and days of that compounding action, the anxiety starts to melt away, and all of a sudden, instead of feeling like you're stunted with action because you feel this anxiety, you're just constantly moving the needle forward every single day. Constantly moving 1% better every single day. The best book that you can read when it comes to developing your habits is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. In that book, he says that if I can improve 1% better every single day, I will become 37 times better in a year time frame. And if you decrease 1% every single day for a year, it's like this slight compounding. It's not 37 times worse, but I think it's like, a little bit worse from your year. But most of all, you are not just being complacent that year if you're not moving 1% better, but you are falling down. Your standard is actively decreasing. And it's important to understand that there is no preset standards in life. There is no preset expectation for the habits that you have. Those are all set by you. So it's up to you whether or not you want to have a certain standard where you're hitting your macros every single day, going to the gym, hitting 10,000 steps, right? Being able to wake up and instantly work on yourself, instantly attack the day and win the day within yourself first before even taking an action on anything else. That is what you have to focus on, is winning the day within yourself first, going to the gym, hitting your highest protein meal of the day first thing in the morning, or like after your workout, right? And then you have the day attack you, right? I attack the day first, and then I have the day attack me. I don't instantly pick up my phone and start scrolling on IG, right? I don't instantly start like consuming the thoughts and beliefs of everyone else except my own. And that is like, the only thing you have control over in this world is your own thoughts. Your own thoughts, that is the only thing that you have control over. So if you're constantly just consuming social media, and by doing that, your thoughts and beliefs are so heavily influenced by everyone else around you that you don't even know, quite frankly, except your own. And you don't even know who you are. You're just a replacement copy of the people you see on social media. And that is truly demoralizing, is not even knowing who you are. So use the time you have, use your 20s to crash out. Just consume as many experiences as possible, physical experiences in the real world. Collect as much experience, as much memories. Increase your skill sets so you do have, your character is able to actually conquer this life. Is able to actually be able to focus on the things that you care to later down the line. I just wanted to ramble my thoughts a little bit for the video, so thanks for watching.